Hey guys, welcome back to Economics in Comics. I am Bill, host of Economics in Comics.
And I'm Joel.
Host of GoneWithTheTwins.com, host of GoneWithTheTwins.com. He is a movie critic, and I am
You're becoming a movie critic, aren't you?
I don't know what I am.
I'm a see so many movies that I think you're there already. You're a professional critic now.
So we went and we saw Rambo, of course, The Last Blood. Now, I just want to talk about something really fast in regard to our previews. And hey, Tony, also we're live. We like to go live if we can after movies. But, we're not your average movie reviewers. I mean, he's a movie critic, don't get me wrong. But all these movie reviews you see on YouTube and stuff, they're heavily edited where the guy, he's thinking a thought and then he edits, cuts to the next thought. So it's like a nonstop talking. One person kind of diving deep. We don't have that. We're
going live. You don't have that luxury to edit. There's no editing. So
the other thing is we read all your comments. Oh, I do, since it's my channel, but and I see a lot. Well, let the other guy talk all the way. Don't interrupt. Unfortunately, we don't do that. We're friends. So it's like a conversation between friends, when you're talking, but you have to say something. That's us. This is reality.
Yeah. Well, plus in regular conversations, somebody says something and you disagree or agree, you want to rebut it or,
Yeah, and cut them off. I mean, so that's what I do a lot. He thinks he does it a lot. Yeah. I think it's me because most of the comments are towards me. So anyway, Chloe the dog, where's she? She's gone. Chloe. She's back there looking at stuff. So let's get right into it.
You had high hopes for this film going.
I did. I thought that since Expendables and the last Rambo, that this thing was going to be better.
Yeah, especially with the way Stallone creates his movies, you think each one is going to try and top the previous one. But for me, this felt like a step backwards. This was not more creative than the last Rambo movie.
Yeah, if you've seen the last Rambo movie, there's a bunch of cool little scenes, and at the end, I mean, it's like a 15-minute kill scene and a Jeep minigun.
Yeah, it's
which is intense. I mean, it's graphic.
Yeah, but this film's violent. Yeah, but it all of the creativity, all of the things that I felt made the last Rambo and also the Expendables kind of fun is missing from this movie. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't a single bit of humor in this entire movie. There was no jokes. There was no little nods to anything. It was completely humorless, and I think that takes away a little bit from the fun of a character like this, because it is a little, especially the previous.
There was not any humor. You're right.
And also Expendables, they are kind of cartoon characters. They're larger than life. They're supposed to be, or at least they're portrayed in such a way that they don't take punches the same way. They don't get hurt the same way. So it's that idea of a little bit of a fun cartoonish sort of thing, and then without humor, it's very dour. This movie is very dark and.
Well, I mean, Rambo 1 wasn't funny. I mean,
no, that's true. That's a different type of film. This movie is just a straight up revenge fantasy. It takes that very tried and true formula of bad things happen to the people he loves, so then he goes and gets revenge, and they don't deviate at all from that. And I think that's where it loses some of the anything interesting, because there's no deviation from the formula. They stick to it. There's no curveballs thrown. There's nothing that I felt was very original at all.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit. So, we all expect he's home now, in Arizona somewhere. I myself, we live here. I'm very good with the geography of Arizona. It was part of an old job I had, and I was trying to figure out exactly where they're located. I should have probably researched that, but even if they say it's a certain location, I doubt it is.
Yeah. Well, they don't mention in the movie what the city is that they live in.
I think so. Yeah, no.
They're out in the middle of
it's like a farm. Yeah, but basically he's home, and he's it starts kind of off with him riding a horse, kind of training horses, being a cowboy type of feel. And he's done. It kind of implicates he's still having flashbacks from a war, stuff like that.
He has a
medication,
sort of I guess a niece, kind of an adopted niece.
That's correct. He's living he has a niece.
Gabrielle, and so you get this little bit of this sense of
he's a father figure now.
He's kind of has a little bit of a family.
So he's taking care of this girl, and she's graduating from high school, and she wants to see her real dad, right? So apparently her real dad's a real piece of garbage. He lives in Mexico, And they say, no, don't go see him because she's going to go to college or something like that.
Yeah.
And he said, no, don't go. You know, it's better if you forget about it. She's like, I got to know. So she kind of promises them that, you know, there's another actress. She's almost like an aunt or a housemaid or something. I don't even know. Family.
I believe it's the Gabrielle's grandmother or something.
Mother Goose. Where do I know that? Where do I know? Wait, hang on a second.
It's David.
Is that David? Oh my gosh. Hello, Mother. Oh, wait, don't you supposed to say that? Well, welcome to the chat, Tony and Mother Goose. So anyway.
So of course
she goes to see her dad.
The rebellious young girl goes to Mexico to see her father.
Now I think it's in the Rocky Point area personally, because I know all the different ways in, and there's water. So the quickest way in Mexico with water is Rocky Point.
But a lot of the times in films, they don't follow the geography at all, especially because it could have been a fictitious Arizona town. It could have been a fictitious Mexican town. They don't have to go by.
I know, but you know, I'm trying.
It's most likely.
In my mind, I'm like, because we live out here, I'm trying to find it. But anyway, what happens? She finds her daddy's a real piece of garbage. Of course.
But also her friend that's out there that she's staying with is even more of a piece of garbage.
Yeah, her friend gets her mixed up with a cartel prostitution ring.
Yeah.
And she's done. She's trapped.
Yeah,
and
so
boom.
it's a notorious trafficking ring run by the Martinez brothers.
A story that has been played out.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, here comes Rambo looking for her. What I kind of thought was interesting was he went in kind of stupidly. Like,
there was no
Rambo,
planning. So I think for me, what I gathered was that he's emotionally involved this time. So there's not that level of planning. There's not that level of.
I get that, but it's Rambo, dude. He's like 900 years old. So so they kind of communicate. They make you feel that way. He's he makes fast decisions.
A little bit irrational.
Irrational. So he gets there and he's he tracks, does a couple cool things, messes up a cool guys. But look, there's a lot of buildup in this movie.
Yeah.
With the big scene is at the end. I mean, we're building up. Now, there's something else I want to talk about time. So it says it's about an hour and 41 minutes. Dude, that's not true.
Yeah, this movie feels very short.
Look, when we got out, it was an hour and 10. Look, because considering preview 7:15, right? We got out at like 1:25. It was over. So whatever, that's an hour and 15 minutes of movie, and then the credits, of course, add to the.
It feels very much like there's just not enough story going on.
I expected there to be more cool little things all the way, but basically, this is a spoiler review, guys, and so I mean, he gets caught by this cartel, a bunch of them. They beat him, and then they don't kill him, which is this. Of course, there would be no movie if they killed him, but it's pretty stupid.
Yeah, well, it's a little difficult to believe in villains that don't act like they would in real life. Or I know it's fictitious, but still.
I mean, I don't even know how
they make really stupid mistakes. Yeah.
Actually, I do. I can't talk about it though. So anyway, they let him live and they scar him, and then they scar the girl. So they heal him up, right?
Yeah.
There's another character.
There's a reporter, independent reporter, who's also had her daughter, sister, something was kidnapped by
her sister,
the same sex traffickers, and she died. So this lady wants to help Rambo.
They're like the worst sex traffickers. They kidnap the girl, they get him all hooked on heroin, and they like overdo it every time. Everyone dies. It's like a 4-day turnaround. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't want to no talking crap about fictitious cartel.
But it is weird that they make these characters seem very inept at their
the bad guys are stupid
at their villainry.
But again, we both agree at the same time there wouldn't be a movie if they didn't.
I think the only goal is just make these characters as ugly and evil as possible, so that you don't feel bad or that you feel elated when Rambo goes and brutally destroys them.
Well, even if they were great looking, what happens is make you want them to die. So, what's another interesting thing is we were having bets. There's no one going to be here. No one will be here. We get in there. We're the first ones there because we want to have good seats. And the theater filled up.
Yeah, there was
a lot of people in there. A lot of Rambonians, and like me. So anyway, moving on. So she heals him up.
Yeah.
The news helps him out, and then
he goes and rescues the Gabrielle.
Yeah. So we get a brief glimpse finally of Rambo, like sneak attack knife stuff, like brutal.
Yeah, it's a very
it was brutal. The killings with the knives were very horror movie-esque, like
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, like not just the basic kill areas, yes, but then he just kept going because he was pissed.
Yeah, but it's also not that creative. We've seen this kind of thing over
so
and over again.
Quick
Yeah,
and
so
easy.
that's
what I'm upset a little bit, because after the last Rambo movie, or honestly any of them, the last one really made a statement.
Yeah, it really went like, not that it was overboard, but it really drew out those action sequences to really hit home, I think, how intense and violent Rambo's world is. And it was really cool.
Well, that's another thing to say, though. Like, he wasn't in his world. His world's the jungle.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he kind of in the jungle. And was it?
Well, the other one's the Russia desert one, but
no,
that was the
one
Iraq.
Just called Rambo.
That was back home too.
It was in the jungles too.
It was a forest. Number one, the first one.
No, I'm talking about the remake, or the one that was just called Rambo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was in his hometown. He was in Nam. Am I saying it right?
Nam? They're in Cambodia in that one.
Oh, I thought he went back to Nam.
That's number 3.
Oh, so he lived in Cambodia. I don't know how far Cambodia is from Nam.
Maybe it's right.
I like to say Nam.
I'm not good with the geography.
Nam. Anyway, the whole movie I wanted to say I'll be back, or some, an Arnold thing. We're trying to think. We're going way off topic, but whatever, guys. Enjoy.
Yeah, he doesn't have any.
He doesn't have
memorable catchphrases
except yo, and Adrian. But in Rambo, I can't think of anything. Oh no, he drew first blood, or whatever. That's anyway. Sorry.
This is a prime example of how there's no editing and no.
And this is why we're totally different than any other channel. When do you guys go to see The Joker? Waiting for the review. That's a good question.
October 1st.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait, guys. I really enjoyed Rambo. Just got back from watching it. Oh, really, Luis? Oh. Well, I liked it too, but it wasn't good as the others. That's my guess.
One of the things too that I really didn't enjoy about this film is that they followed a slightly different formula that we've seen before with The Equalizer. And that is this elaborate use of traps that he sets up, and then the bad guys just walk right into these traps.
Oh, let's get there.
Kind of, yes.
So real quick, he's healed up. He goes, he kills like 4 guys. There's 2 brother cartel guys. He makes an example of one of them. He cuts his head off. He gets his daughter. They're almost home. She dies. Spoiler, she dies. So now Rambo's pissed. But he goes, or no, she dies.
Yeah, so then he goes back to Mexico.
Then he goes back
and finds one of the brothers and kills them to make an example.
To make him come to him.
To make the other brother come back to Arizona. And he brings a huge team of SWAT people for some reason.
It's like a military event. And that's Rambo-esque. It's just great. But what's interesting, another thing, is he has all these caves and like underground.
Yeah, they're on this desolate farm, but he's built all of these tunnels underneath.
He built tunnels. And he realized he didn't build tunnels for any other reason to kill people in. Like, there's no reason. He's not gold digging. He's not building he made all these tunnels. So if he ever had to go to war, he would kill everybody. I mean, he just added all the juiciness to the end. But basically, it's the same thing, like you were saying. Lead him into a trap.
And it's not even that Equalizer did it first. That's just one of the more larger mainstream movies that kind of got some notoriety or acclaim for doing that. You could take it all the way back to and say it's just Home Alone, because that's
okay. Too far, dude. Too far. Well, it is Home Alone. He is Home Alone, but they.
But that idea of just setting a bunch of traps and then the bad guys walking into them and getting slaughtered.
I think it's dumb. Like there's like all these trucks coming, and like I want Rambo to kill them all, but it's so weird. But all these trucks are coming right, and then all of a sudden one blows up. I mean, dude. Okay, let's stop for a second. What just happened? We're on a farm. No, let's keep going. Then all of a sudden, fire surrounding everything. Then all of a sudden, people go ring the doorbell. They're all dead. But they just keep going. It's like a bunch of stupid animals running. Oh, there's tunnels. Let's go in there and run as fast as we can. So it makes the cartel look pretty stupid. I don't even know do I call them a cartel, or they're
not really the cartel. They're just I
think they kind of represent
traffickers. Yeah, I guess they're the run-of-the-mill villains.
Anyway, Rambo's main point is to get the last brother alone and to make him just be afraid and fear, so he can feel the pain of the niece getting taken from him and the loss of his heart. The only thing he ever cared about ever was his niece when he got back. The only thing to live for.
Yeah.
But, his whole life he's lived for war. You know what I mean? So he found a piece of love or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yep.
Am I doing a good job here? Do I get hired? Sick. Okay, so kills everybody.
Yeah.
And then there's the final.
And what's weird for me is that when they get all the traffickers get to the farmhouse and they start trying to hunt Rambo down, I'm thinking, well, we're about midway through the movie. Oh, that's the end of the movie.
I know. I thought too. Okay, they're gonna have this battle. The last guy's gonna get away and go back to Mexico, and then he's gonna have to go to Mexico and. Tell your stories tonight. Mother Goose is here for you. Okay, Mother Goose, Sergeant First Class, right? Sergeant First Class. Anyway, so yeah, finally we get to some good stuff, and it's like the end of the movie, dude.
Yeah, it is a very short, truncated.
I'm telling you, hour and 10 minutes, 45 minutes of drama, and then so final scene spoilers. You ready? I'm gonna let Joel spoil this one. So I can have a sip of my coffee.
There's not much to spoil. He does exactly what he set out to do and traps the bad guy in the barn and then cuts his heart out. Temple of Doom style.
Well, he doesn't go
almost.
Tell me a heart in me. No, he goes.
It's about as creative though. There's just nothing.
Oh, North Cali's getting to he wants to know 1 to 10. I'll give you an answer in a minute. Jeez. Let's just give it. What is it? Rambo 5.
Yeah, it is.
So I give it a 4. So Rambo 4, I thought was a 9 in Rambo style.
Yeah, this to me was the worst Rambo movie of the 5. This was the weakest link, which is unfortunate because I would have hoped that they would take it one step further and make it more elaborate, more interesting, more grandiose in the action sequences than the prior one. But they took a step backwards, and this one's. It just has nothing special about it.
Now, don't take the low number as crap. I don't care what Rambo does. I love Rambo.
Yeah,
so it's a 10 for 10 all the time.
It's a formula that works. And, at the end of this film, we're there with an audience and some people start cheering because
I didn't hear anyone cheer.
So a couple of people cheered.
Well, I was rambotized.
Yeah.
It's like hypnotized. Anyway, so the final scene. There we go. Busta said it right, I think. He says he feels like it was really rushed. Yeah. I agree. I feel like they spent very little amount of money, and it was boom, 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 done. But even Rambo 4 was, but there was good stuff, and the end was so big. This end was quick and easy. So, and he gets the guy. He's got him all arrowed up, so he can't move. And he's slowly walking up. I want you to feel the pain. That's what he's thinking. And he does this, dude. He goes yeah, and he rips down and does this, and then he goes, and he's what is that kung fu?
It's not that good a scene.
I thought he was going to get a pencil and stab the heart like a vampire, but he showed the guy his heart.
For me, they just focused so much on the revenge fantasy portion that they forgot to tell an interesting story. They sort of built up some of the characters. The Gabrielle character, you kind of felt for her.
Who's that? The daughter?
The daughter that dies, yeah. So, but there's just really not much story going on. So you've got a couple of characters you care about, but there's nothing going on in that story department. And for me, they focused too much on just the revenge, just the killing, and they forgot to tell a story. Now, the plot that there is way too similar to the movie Homefront with Jason Statham, and that's because it is actually the same. They use that same script originally. Homefront was supposed to be the Rambo 5, but they ended up,
really?
Yeah, but they ended up giving it to the Homefront movie. For Jason. So that's why this one takes place heavily on a farm and has a lot of the same themes from that film.
Big Billy Rambo. You can call me the Rambone, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of like Indy. Indy's more drawn out. No, this is and that's it. He goes, sits on his rocking chair. Oh, I'll be here.
And there's this terrible narration about, I don't know, he's seen it all. He's sitting back in his home. Everybody he's ever loved has died. And that's bad narration.
I go in there. I didn't even care how bad. I mean, they all knew it. Everyone. There's people outside waiting, and I'm messing with kids. I mean, there was little kids going on. I was racing him to the front door and messing with people and talking to people because it's Rambo. I was excited. If it's Arnold, I would be excited. I love this type of stuff.
Well, I never want to tell somebody don't go see a movie. That's
No,
that's
go
not what
see
we're
it.
here for. Yeah, if you're a fan of these types of movies, if you're a fan of Rambo, you owe it to yourself to go see it.
You have to.
But we're just telling what we think are the shortcomings of the film or what's good about a film. And so yeah, but I would never say absolutely don't go see a movie. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't.
Tony asks us if it's a proper end of Rambo. I feel like it was, like Busta said, rushed, and they should have been. See, at the end, after it's over, they run credits, and it's showing scenes from First Blood, the original, where he's like walking into town. That's the problem here for me. Is First Blood is such a damn good movie. The non-vet coming home and all the stuff he's going through, and then all of a sudden they're hunting him, and he's just too good for him.
Stallone named this movie Last Blood because he wanted to make this the final Rambo movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then supposedly in a recent interview, he said, well, if this movie makes money, maybe I'll do another one. So it's not like they made the story so finite that he can't just come back or that they can't do another one. I would have actually preferred something a little outside the box and maybe make it to where there's kill Rambo, maybe make it to where there's no way to bring him back or something.
I would have rather seen
the torch.
Yeah. No torch passing, but I would have rather seen him go into Mexico and climb the ladder to get to these guys, where he's killed 300 people to get to them in the most gruesome way possible. That's what I wanted to see with Rambo, and to get that last guy right before he dies. That's how you end Rambo. You know what I mean? But this is go in, kill a couple guys, come back to my house, I'll kill you all, and I'm going to die in a rocking chair. It wasn't, I don't even know if he's dead. I mean, he left it open.
It's pretty implied that he didn't die from
2 gunshot wounds.
He's Rambo.
Yeah,
Can't kill him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wish they ended it differently, but I don't care. It's Rambo. I liked it. Honestly, there wasn't too much hand-to-hand, which I wanted to see.
Yeah. Well,
but he was vicious.
Another thing that he's getting old. I believe he's 70-something now.
I don't care how old he is, dude.
He looks old, though.
In Expendables, he goes out of control.
Yeah.
So,
but not in this one. I didn't feel like
that's what I'm saying.
Didn't feel like he was pushing any limits.
But I think they wanted to make him seem old.
Yeah.
They called him Juanito Rambo. I thought that was funny.
He still kills everybody. I guess.
He kills everybody. So right on, Rambo. Good job, buddy. So anyway, if you're a Rambo fan, or forget that. If you're a Sylvester Stallone fan, enjoy the movie. But if you're trying to get actual breakdown of what we thought about it, you just got it, whether you like it or not. It could have been better. I love Rambo. Adrian. Wait, let's see. Yeah, the guy has like 5 metal plates in his neck from not using a stunt. Yeah, that was from Expendables. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it for me. What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much said all I wanted to say about it. It's unfortunate that this last one is, to me, the weakest Rambo film. But
think about it. That's when you see the previews, you don't see much. I saw the previews, and you don't see much. You see him holding a thing. They implicate things, and you're like, oh, my God, the Mexican mafia, he's going to mess them up or whatever. And I didn't get that. I got to stop watching previews.
Yeah,
I really do.
Previews,
like the Joker, like that preview, even though it's so bland, I still don't care. Like, I want to. It doesn't actually. The Joker doesn't show you. Too much.
As far as you know, it's.
Oh God, he scared me. Well, I hope you guys like this. Leave some comments. Go see Rambo. Come back. Leave us some comments. Joker's in a couple. We're seeing it on October 1st.
I believe that's when
it's not too far away. And I'm going to tell you right now, if there's an embargo, which means we can't do a review, I'm going to make Joel wait so that we can do it live. I don't care what time it is. And if you don't want to know, don't watch. I can tell you that right now because I'm going to tell you everything. The guy right behind me is making me. And I was thinking in the theater while we're watching that preview, I've been growing my hair out a little bit, got a little bit of length. Thinking about Halloween, dude. I think it'd be a damn good Joker. So that's it, guys. Love you. Tomorrow is the auction. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed. 13 people, 6 likes. I appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.